Hey there, Lotter. A woo to you too. And welcome to the stream. We'll be getting started here in a few moments. Just giving folks a chance to filter in, especially since this was an impromptu stream today. But I think I've actually got most of the kinks worked out of this mod. At the very least, they were worked out of it on the last build. But I just downloaded the update, so we're on build 82 now, and we'll be taking a look to make sure that everything still works. I am wondering why I'm not hearing sound here. Hey, there it goes. All right, don't know what that was all about. Okay, let's go ahead and get started here then. All right, so go ahead and we'll take a look first at, here it is. Here's just kind of like the overview of what this rewrite does, first of all. Then, of course, it's removing this concept of generating job chains all up front, and it's creating a new job every time the current job is completed, and it basically changes things so that instead of every train car from a shunting unload job becoming a empty haul job, it'll instead prefer to make them shunting load jobs instead, if the station that they're at supports that cargo type. But of course, if it does not, then they'll still become empty haul jobs where they'll be carried away to another station that does support that type. And it, of course, closes the job chain loop. So before, everything kind of went in a straight line, where it'd go shunting load, transport, shunting unload, and then logistic haul, and then just nothing. It despawned. The cars would all despawn when you walk away. So now what happens instead is you get shunting load job, becomes a transport job, becomes a shunting unload job. Basically, that is all the same. But now sometimes some of the cars from shunting unload jobs will loop back around and become shunting load jobs again. And if they don't, then they'll become logistical hauls. And once that is complete, then those cars will loop back around and turn into, or they'll get assigned a shunting load job. So it definitely will give things, I think, a little bit better sense of the fact that these cars are being moved around for a purpose. Yeah, so we're going to be testing compatibility with build number 82, which was the update to Derail Valley that was released just earlier today. And so the test that we want to do here is we want to make sure that when we complete a shunting load job, that it'll generate a transport job. When we complete a transport job, it'll create a shunting unload job. When we complete a shunting unload job, it doesn't immediately generate jobs for the train cars that are used by the current station, but it does immediately generate empty haul jobs for cars that are not used by the current station. And then, of course, jobs spawn when approaching stations from afar, and shunting load jobs get generated for the train cars which get unassigned at the end of their kind of like life cycle, and that they start over a new life cycle at that point. And of course, that no errors happened during the tests. So that's the little rundown, and we will go ahead and get into it here. And it's telling me there's an update available, but that's just because I have not incremented the version on this branch. So, yeah. Ooh, the car suddenly pops into place. Oh, that's interesting. Anyway, yeah, I could have sworn that there was a locomotive here. That's a little weird. Actually, do I have? Oh, that is strange. Am I getting any output for this? No. Okay, well, I'm going to guess that that is something to do with the update and the migration that happens for that. So we'll just go ahead and dump this one. We'll see what we can take here. Let's see if we've got a... I have to remember what my licenses are too. I think I have to go under licenses for that. What do I have? I've got shunting, I've got logistical, I've got concurrent 1. I think that's it on this. I probably should have just hacked myself all of the licenses just to make it easy to not have to worry about picking one thing over another. Yeah, that's a long one. Oh, man. Well, it might be that harbor and town one. That's a logistical, which is long 2. This is shunting. Interesting. Oh, I guess, is alcohol not... I guess alcohol is not hazmat. Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, certainly I could do one of those. Well, I can't do that one, though. This one's only got 1 pickup. That might be rather nice just to do a short one. Let's go. What number was that? 10. And what do the cards look like? Orange, orange, blue, orange. Maybe in this big long string somewhere. Oh man, I hope it's not like buried. Oh, is it? Is this it? No, that's 21. I'm looking for 10. Orange, orange, blue, orange. Still 21. Okay, maybe it's around the other side. See some likely candidates over here. This one maybe? Yeah, this looks like it might be it. Yep, number 10. Yeah. All right. So Let us go grab a locomotive, since it looks like the one I was using despawned. Actually, before I boot this one up, let me just go check the career manager and see if it's listing any fees for a locomotive. I wonder if it's cleared those. Fees. No fees. Cool. Okay. So yeah, it must have despawned the locomotive I was using before as part of the latest update. You know what? We've been using this color, this skin already. Let's use this one instead. Cool. Give it a moment here for the brake pressure to build up. Actually need to go down even farther. No. Yes. Okay. And that is the wrong key to be turning on the brake with. Oh yes, and this is cool. Brand new in this update, doors on the Shunter. Looks like we are clear through this track here. Oh, that is fantastic. It's the little things, you know? And let's check this real quick. Make sure we're headed down to the right cars here. Yep, those are the ones right there. Let's take it away. Apparently I was not close enough. Hey there, Foxy. Welcome to the stream. We're doing some more mod testing today. We've got build number 82, which the devs just released, and we're testing out the latest changes that I've been making to the persistent jobs mod. Look at that. That is fantastic, that door in the Shunter. But yeah, so we're taking a look, making sure that nothing breaks with the latest build of the game, which reminds me that I should check in here, make sure that everything is going well and that we haven't seen any errors. Looks like we have not. All right, we're all set up there and aligned. Probably should have checked it before, but just to make sure that these are all in the same job ID. They have, yep, they all are the correct job, the one that we're looking for. Alright, let's go do the job thing. Apparently you cannot take items out of your inventory while you run. Good to know. Alright, let's be watching this overlay here. Okay, looks fine. So we grab them, we load them up, we drop them off. That is the plan. What track was that? C7? C7 is pretty full, but yeah, it looks like we'll be able to squeeze them on there just fine. Might have to push the rest of the cars too, but that'll be all right. We'll make do. All right. There we go. I think these are headed to goods factory. I don't think that there is any shipments that come from goods factory that use tank cars. So likely we're not going to be able to test out the version of the job flow where a shunting unload job will turn into shunting load jobs. But we will definitely get to see, make sure that when they become shunting, or rather logistical haul jobs, that there's no issue there. And it looks like we are over that switch. It's going to be a good idea to hop out here and make sure we're headed to the right track. We wanted this on 7, I believe. Yep, certainly it did. Yeah, there's not a whole heck of a lot of room on there. Yep, and we're going to need to push these out of the way a little bit. We don't necessarily need that. We just need to open these up, let them fill a little ways. close up this side. And we will move forward. All right, here we go. Actually, I'm going to do something a little silly here, but I'm going to go ahead and, well, before I do that, I'm going to check and make sure that we haven't seen any errors. Yeah, so certainly no errors in the logs. I'm going to go ahead and quit and relaunch the game. That'll create like a backup save point in case we do encounter some errors when validating the job. We can see about fixing them and then hop back in right at the same place and try it again. This is kind of the flow that I was using yesterday to debug a lot of what was going on. And certainly there were there were problems with my code, but yeah, good to get them out and get them fixed. Cool. All right. Well, let me. There we go. Nope. I need. There we go. Okay. So we'll be watching, of course, as we turn in this job here to see if anything goes wrong. Oh no. That might be okay. Actually, I think that's okay. I think that's okay. Yes, hush. Certainly, let's take a look in here. Oh no. Okay. Collection was modified. Enumeration operation may not execute. Yeah, so definitely a good thing that we backed up that save. Let's go ahead and open the detailed log here. So we have a backup of that. But certainly we will close the game here and see if we can fix this. So this looks like it's happening at empty hall generation. Okay. So that's going to be in the main file. And we are looking for, yes, on last job in chain completed. And the error that we're seeing is what? We're going through a list and the collection is being modified during enumeration. Okay, so we've got some different types here. We've got shunting unload. Here's shunting load, which is the one that we were turning in. So certainly there's some enumeration going on in here somewhere. I believe that one is here. Yes. So we are enumerating, or we are iterating through train cars for job chain, but we're also removing. What? That seems. Oh no. Instance versus job chain controller. That seems fine. It seems like it would be fine. Weird. I wonder if, because this is a this is a reference assignment here. And we're passing this into this generate method here. And so the train car is in here, being iterated through to find cargo types. We're getting a train length from them. Supported car types, okay. Yeah, we're passing them in here without, yeah, they're not being modified. They're coming in here as ordered train cars, which are being set directly on here. Yeah, so in a roundabout way, this is actually these two, what seem like distinct variables, or rather fields, are referencing the same object, which is not good. Okay, so what we want to do instead here is we want to create a new list of train cars from the existing list. Yes, okay. Actually, I wonder if there's just like a clone method on the list. Let's take a look. No, clear. Okay, that's fine. This is, it would probably just do the same thing under the hood anyway. Yeah, so we're going to clone that first. And let's take a look and make sure that's probably, yeah, that's happening here as well. So we'll get ahead of it here and just say we will do the same. Why doesn't it like that? Non-invocable list. Oh, because I missed the new keyword. Right. Okay, so we will copy those lists before we mess around with them. Okay, so let's go ahead and rebuild that. We'll also go ahead and probably just stage these so that we know what is what we're currently working on versus what we've already finished working on. Okay, so we will go ahead and roll back to that save before we validated. And I'm just doing that off screen here. All right, and we'll launch the game again. Okay, get our cursor back to center. We've got this job here that we're looking at. Let's make sure we check these logs. And certainly that coroutine is installed there. Okay, and we'll look at this overlay as we turn this in. Okay, I think that is to be expected. So let's check the other log here. Yep, and certainly we don't see an error here. So that other error coming from the base code is just to be expected, and it should not cause too much trouble, or any trouble at all for that matter, hopefully. And we should also see a new job spawn. Yep, here it is. Freight haul to goods factory in town. And we will go ahead and turn this one in as well. Or rather, we'll start it. Okay, we've got it assigned to us. We couple right where it is. We uncouple on D5I. Yeah, we can do that. All right, let's get rolling. It is the downside to backing up the saves that way by quitting and re-entering the game, is that the train brake gets automatically applied. We'll just have to wait a moment for it to build up pressure, and then we'll be on our way. All right, that should be good enough. I forgot that keyboard players have a sitting mode. Well, honestly, in terms of visibility, I think the standing position is certainly one of the better ones, although the windows are perhaps a little low on the sides there. We got a 40 zone coming up anyway. Sounds like we're probably going uphill here. Woo! Right, a little too much accelerator there. Too much throttle. Gave our wheels a good slip. Feel like that signpost is in a different spot than it used to be. realize just how much momentum we were losing there. And I think we'll build up some speed naturally here as we start to descend. Alright, it certainly looks like the mod is doing okay so far. Yeah, let's hop out here and get the yard track set up. Looks like we're coming right on into this one here. I think I've picked the wrong track here. Oh no, I haven't. Man, I'm pretty tired today. Alright, we're gonna head over to station office and we're gonna do the same thing again where we close the game to make a restore point before we turn in the job. But before we do that, we'll just check that we're not seeing any errors. Yeah, certainly not seeing anything here. Take a look at the detailed log too, just to make sure nothing's getting swept under the rug, perhaps. But no, it's looking pretty clean as far as I can tell. It's a little unfortunate that it inserts all of these debug binding lines, but kind of clutters things up a bit. That's okay. I think that I trust that it's working okay. Okay, so let's make that restore point here. And then we will turn in this job and see how it goes. Right. So the restore point is made. And we will just launch the game again and turn in this job. Okay. We are back here again. And we're about to turn in this freight haul job and make sure that it doesn't cause any errors. And now it did print out this one error here, but that is expected. And we'll take a look over here. Yeah, and certainly we don't see any other errors in the mod manager log. So it should be all right. So what have we got? Did we not get, ooh. That is possibly an issue. I am not seeing a unload job here. Let me take a look and see if these train cars have a number on them. They do have a number. But why don't I see the job booklet? That is strange. Yeah, I would expect to see that job booklet, and especially since they've certainly been assigned a number. And looking at it, it starts with SU, or rather it has SU in the middle, which makes me believe that it should have a job booklet associated with it, but I'm not seeing anything here. Strange. Let me see if I can wander away a bit and then come back, and perhaps we'll see that job booklet come into being. That's probably far enough away. Yeah, no job overview. Unless it's like you just move them all. Make sure it's not like hiding under one of them. No, I certainly don't see it here. That is very, very strange. I don't really have I don't think I really have insight in any of the logs that I'm seeing as to why that would happen. So we certainly see the details about the generation itself. We see that it's saying it's the last job, or rather, it's excuse me, it's talking about the patch that it's in, and then we see that it's generating with pre-spawned cars. It's choosing a warehouse machine. It chooses 3 destination tracks. It gets 3 tracks with 3 space. Divides the train cars 1 per track with 1 extra. Oh, that's weird. That doesn't seem right. Oh, no, that is correct, because we have 4 train cars on the train. Yeah, so that's correct. And then it calculates the time, the wage, the licenses, and it attempts to generate it. Weird. And it says generated job chain shunting load, FF to GF. It certainly seems like it is being created here, but I'm not seeing it anywhere. Well, let's hop over to Visual Studio and see if we see anything out of place. So we did a shunting load. That worked fine. And then we did a transport. That's what we just validated. And certainly it seems like everything's fine, yeah, because it definitely hit this. That is strange. I wonder what happens if I just quit and then load back in. I wonder if it'll spawn that booklet. Let's give it a shot. All right, so that seems okay. But yeah, still no job overview here. Weird. It's also certainly not in my tool belt. Huh. You know what? Let's quit again. Let's reload that save, which was before we validated, which I think should be a 2 back here. I'm going to give myself a note. As to which one that save game was, in case we need to come back to it again. Take a look and see what's going on. Right, okay, so the coroutine is in there, and we've got logs that are looking pretty good. We, of course, still have the job booklet in hand here. And certainly we can see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs sitting on the table at the moment. Let me actually pick this one up and move it over here. Right. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like it did about the same as it did last time. Yeah, no, it's not creating a job booklet. But I'll bet that it still has numbers on it. Yeah, shunting unload 91. So strange. Huh. That is weird. Why would it do that? I wonder if, ooh, I wonder if it's targeting like the wrong station or something. Here's transport. Generate shunting, unload job with existing cars. Let's hop over to that one and take a look here. The destination station is where we're choosing a... Oh, yeah, I think I see what's going on here. I think it is... Oh, yeah. Oh, no. It is choosing tracks from the starting station rather than from the destination station. And I believe if we spawn one of these normally, we'll probably see, where is it? Yeah, we're looking at the job role set for the destination station. That sounds all good, and choose a starting track, yeah, from the destination station. So certainly that seems to be part of the problem here. Actually, while I'm in here, I want to rename this. Right. So this should certainly be destination station. And let's see, where else are we using starting station? That's fine. That's a log. We are looking at tracks here. So yeah, this needs to be destination, and this also needs to be destination station. Cool. And then we are coming on over to this, and what are we? Oh, yep. Game object transform set parent to starting station. So it is actually, it is spawning this job booklet back over in Food Factory right now. Oh, goodness. Okay, so that should get it choosing the right tracks and also spawning in the right location. What is this? Static shunting unload. Yeah, this needs to be different too. This needs to be destination. Okay. I think that should cover it though, because certainly the game still needs the information about where the origin of these cars is. It prints that on the job booklets and the job overview as well. So it's still listed as the starting station in terms of that, but the starting tracks are actually at the destination station. All right. Well, that answers that mystery. So let's go ahead and quit here. And we'll rebuild and roll back to that previous save as well. And then we should see that this will hopefully work this time. I have pretty good confidence in that. All right, that's built. Game is rolled back, the save game is rolled back, and we will launch once again. Okay. So, yeah, so far so good. Let's get rid of that cursor. That is to be expected. And look at that. Oops, wrong overlay. There we go. Yep, so we certainly have a job booklet here now. That's funny to think that that job booklet was actually spawning back over in Food Factory. Ooh, okay. So actually, it tried to choose 3 destination tracks, but I guess it only found space on 2. So it's dividing it up here into two separate tracks. And we unload it first. Yeah, so let's get on with that, since we'll need to verify that when we validate this job, it will generate some empty haul jobs. Of course, we'll have to give it a moment here to fill up those brake pipes. We are moving along here. I think one of the things that the latest update did is and why we spawned without a locomotive when we first loaded up the game, I think, is that because of the model swap for the Shunter, I think it went ahead and as part of the migration, they had it respawn or despawn rather all the locomotives. Seems fairly likely. Could around the front here. Take a look at when I cross this switch. That has got to be probably the best feature of playing mouse and keyboard style, so you can control the locomotive even from way up here. Right. So where did there it is. And did I pick it up? Yes, I did. Okay. We will make sure that we don't see any errors here. All right, we're looking good. We couple up. We unload, and we uncouple 2 on B2S, 2 on D1S. We'll check this log too just to make sure, and certainly nothing is in there. Okay, so let's see which goes where. But first, of course, we can unload this cargo. All right, so we're looking at, we've got 955 and 727 on this end. Those are headed to B2. 199 on that side. Yeah, and 65 is probably the one at the end. Yep. Okay. So I think, let's see, this is B, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, and B2 is right here. So what I think I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to close that one too. just don't want to do any multi-track drifting here. Juan Pablo, hey there. Welcome to the stream. And thank you for your greetings from Argentina, greetings from the United States. Glad to have you aboard here and hope you enjoy your time. Feel free to chime in on the chat at any moment. We're just doing some mod testing here. Actually, I'm gonna leave that one open. And actually, that reminds me, speaking of testing, that I need to mark off some of these things that we've done. So we've seen that shunting load job generates transport job, okay? And we've seen and fixed the transport job creating a shunting unload job. So right now we're looking at this shunting unload job that does generate empty haul jobs because Goods Factory certainly does not ship anything in tank cars. So that's what we're looking at right now. It looks like, yeah, we were certainly past the switch here. And especially since we have some new faces in here today, I will, of course, mention that I'm doing some fundraising for a group called the Advancement Project. They are... oh no, I've pushed these. They are part of the Black Lives Matter movement here in the States, and you can find a link to more details about that fundraiser in the video description. Come on. No! Ah! Oh. Oh goodness. I think somehow I've hooked it there. Yes, okay. Stop! Yeah, so, but of course you can take a look at that. I know a lot of folks who normally join on these streams do already own Derail Valley, but I have set up a raffle there in case anyone who's watching today does not already own the game and is interested. There's a raffle over there for a $5 minimum donation to Advancement Project. You can get entered to win a copy of Derail Valley. There's, of course, also options for affecting the other stream that I normally run by using your donation amount to vote for either in-game items that I should purchase next to use on that stream, or skins, locomotive skins that you would like to see me use on that stream. And of course, all of those donations go straight to Advancement Project. There's a website called Tiltify that sets all that up and connects the donations to the org, but certainly none of that, none of the money that is donated touches my account at all, so it all goes straight to the organization. And there's also details if you want to know more about the Advancement Project at that same link. It's a donate link, but I'm sure you can click around the page and, of course, find the info that is there about the project if you want to know more. But of course, today is not a usual stream day. Today we're just doing some mod testing, hoping to get this latest change to the persistent jobs mod tested and released. So version 2.0 that'll be, and just in time to go hand in hand with build 82, I guess. Right. Let's take a look here and see where we need to go. We need to go to D1. All right. So we'll be taking a left and another left. And we might be able to fit these on the end here, but we might have to push these a little bit. All right, let's head back to that locomotive. Except inside, please. Yes, thank you. I actually think these will fit on this track here. Just certainly have to push them all the way down here. And yeah, that looks like it should do. So let's do this again, of course, where we come on over here. Actually, Yeah, we'll just leave it coupled for now. That should be fine. So we will come on over here, but we will not turn in the job just yet. We will, of course, we will quit the game in a moment after we check to make sure that there's no errors that have come to be logged. And it certainly looks like there are none. Okay, but we will go ahead and save here just to create a backup point in case something goes wrong, that we don't have to do all the shunting over again. And we'll just hop back in the game. Actually, as this boots up, I'm going to grab a little bit more water. I will be right back. All right, we've got the game back up and running now. And let's take a look, make sure, yep, everything is set up here as far as I can tell. We'll get that cursor put away. Everything is looking good in these logs. We'll grab out that job booklet and we will validate. All right. So let's take a look at what this says here. So we certainly were processing the last job in a chain. We did not divert any train cars because those tank cars, Goods Factory doesn't ship anything in tank cars. So we see here, of course, that what do we got? Yeah, so we generated a job chain for Oil Well North, and we generated a job chain for Oil Well Central. Oh, I see. So yeah, I added some logic because I didn't like the way that when you would turn in, you would like turn in a shunting unload job, and then suddenly, it would say like, yeah, split these cars up into like 3 tracks, and then you'd go look on the table and there would be like 3 logistical jobs all to the same place or something like that. So what I did is I implemented some logic that it actually checks possible destinations first. And so it will actually limit the number of trains that it breaks it into up only to a maximum of the possible destinations that it may reach. And so that's why we saw a little while back, it said that it was going to choose 3 tracks, but it wound up choosing only 2. So it must have been for that reason. And of course, now it is choosing 1 location each for these train cars here. So it's making sure that it's not doing something silly like break this train up onto these 2 separate tracks and then also go haul them both to the same place. Right. But yeah, so certainly that is one more item we can cross off the list here. So it does create some empty haul jobs. Right. So now we do need to test this one where we do a shut, and it does not immediately generate jobs because it involves train cars that are used by the station that it's happening at. So I always get the F and G confused for some reason. So this is a shunting load job. See, we don't really have much to choose from here. We have a freight haul down to harbor. That might be our best bet. So if we haul this down to harbor, harbor will of course use it'll use flat cars, and so we should see that immediately get a logistical haul associated with them, and instead they turn jobless for a little while, but as we move away from the station, they will be reclaimed and have a new job chosen for them. So let us go grab that. Those train cars should be around here somewhere. And they should be loaded. You know what? I bet they are in the transfer yard. Was it 25? No, it was 85. Perhaps these ones down here. Yes, 85. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's take a look. 85. 85. 85. Another 85. And 85. Yep, those are all the same job. So let's go ahead and test how well I lined this up to be clear of the adjacent track. Certainly hoping that I lined it up okay. We will need to wait for a little bit of brake pressure, but it's just for the locomotive at this point. It's probably good enough to get underway. And we're fighting the brakes a little bit, but not too bad. You know what? I think I actually would prefer to not be driving this one backwards again. So we'll back up a little further still. Just checking in on our fuel there, making sure we have enough. I'm going to go ahead here and do a full run around to the other side. Looks like that track's clear, so we can just go ahead and take that one. Make sure I'm fully off the switch. Okay. And also want to make sure that we're at least heading there. All right. We'll wait for this brake pressure to build up, and while we do that, we'll go ahead and take a little journey over to the station office, and we'll go ahead and validate this. And I'm pretty confident that nothing will go wrong here, but we'll just pull up the overlay just in case. Yeah, and certainly we are doing fine. We're headed for G5I down at the harbor. Okay. Funny, the rocks that are popping into existence on this hill here kind of look like very odd gray clouds. I wonder if this telephone number is like a real thing. Never noticed that before. Alright, we should have all of these tracks lined up here. Right, looks like our switches are set straight through here. Let's take a moment here to see what we've got going on in the log. Certainly we can see that it is spawning trains at this station okay. Doesn't look like we're seeing any errors there, so that is good. And it's of course getting a mix of empty haul, shunting unload, shunting load, transport. We'll check in on the other logs as well, and there's no update there, which is good news. I see the spawning trains notification coming up at the top. That certainly seems to be popping up a lot. I'm gonna take a peek here. Huh, that's potentially problematic. Let's see if we have anything going on in here. Oh, certainly we do. Oh, that's not good. Okay, what's going on here? Index was out of range. Must be non-negative and less than the size of the collection. Oh, let's take a look at what's going on. And certainly have lots of these stress calculation logs. Makes it hard to find where the relevant stuff is, but looks like we flew by it there. All right. So this is in. Oh, this again. Ooh, okay. Generate transport job with car spawning. Let's go take a look at that. Generate transport job should be in this file. Yep, here it is with car spawning. And of course, we're looking for somewhere where we should see utilities. Here we go, utility. Yeah, there's certainly a number of places where this is being used. Let's see if we have any other context. We have forcing license requirements is what we see here. Let's take a look at that. Is right here. So oh, I see. I think we don't have a check. Yeah, we certainly do not have a check for that. Where's this cargo group coming from? Oh no, that's just we're iterating through these, right? And it's saving it back to available cargo groups. So since we don't, excuse me, since we don't see this debug line, pretty sure what's happening here is I'm trying to force the license requirements, but we're coming up empty-handed, but then we're still trying to grab a random item from there. So let's add a check in here to say if for some reason the available cargo groups there are none. Is that right? Because it's not giving me a null reference exception. So it must exist, but it must be empty. Right, so then we're going to return null. We're going to do a little bit of logging as well. that an error? It's not really an error. More like a warning. That wrong way around there. All right, log warning. We're in a transport generation. No available cargo groups. Cool. Which makes me wonder if that same thing is happening somewhere in here. Certainly looks like it could. Let's go ahead and copy this logic over to here. This is an unload job generation. And I believe it's probably going to be the same deal here in the shunting load jobs. Yeah. Okay. We will quit the game here real quick. Imagine that's going to kill our momentum when we launch it again, but be okay. Oh. All right, we'll rebuild this. Go ahead and launch the game again. Let's see, I think we were just right back over here when spawning started to occur, so I wonder if... Weird. Anyway, I wonder if I can come back here and get it to trigger again. Loading area. No, I think I'd probably have to go further away to get that to trigger. Which is, of course, one of the things that the mod brings to the table is you can travel farther from... Oh no, we are spawning some trains. Good. Good to see. Oh no. Sounds like we probably have another issue here. Yeah. Man, this get random enumerable thing certainly is going weird. No, this looks maybe something else. Train cars, create job or delete check. So we're computing job infos. To list. Get random. Yeah, certainly there's another spot in here somewhere. Seems to be part of the job infos. This one. So let's find where get random. cargo groups to use. We do have a check to make sure that we have cargo groups. Chosen cargo group stations, yeah, seems fine. This one, though, this is probably it. Yeah. Utilities. Chosen cargo group. Yeah, so I probably need to check this as well when I do this break. But we're getting, let's see, we're getting a random. Oh no, we're getting a random from the intersection. So that should be fine. What is this toList doing? That's part of the select. Okay. So that is part of the random. That should be part of the intersection. Get cargo types for car type. Car type. Yeah, so we're going to copy this. We're going to say the other case is if train cars to load, and if any of these, what? Well, if this intersection what is going on here? This doesn't exist yet? Is that what's the case? Chosen car group doesn't exist yet. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, okay. Let's remove that from there. So we do have potentially more than one cargo group to try here. Cargo groups to use is coming from where? Okay, we've got either an intersection or available cargo groups, and available cargo groups is either an intersection to licensed cargo groups. Available cargo groups is, where is that getting populated? Right here. This is coming from a list. What type is this? It's a list of cargo groups. And we have, this is cargo groups per train cars. Okay. Let's say, so we always run through here. Or no, we're not really interested in that. Let's say it here. Let's say that this will always be a new list of cargo group. Okay. And then we can mess around with cargo groups to use down here. So we can go ahead and say for cargo groups to use dot count is greater than 0. Okay. that's going to be here. Oh, this is an I enumerable. Is that true? Where did I find this? Oh yeah, I do. Oh, it's a hash set. Okay, that's fine. But we'll still need to use that. So as long as we have some cargo groups to try to use, we will loop in here. And when we choose a cargo group, we'll go ahead and say cargo groups to use. There's no remove, is there? Huh. Yeah, it certainly does not know. Well, we know that this is a hash set. So what happens if we say this is a hash set of cargo groups? Might have to put parentheses around the whole thing. Certainly lets us do it then. All right. So, right, if we remove that, then we have a cargo group. We can take a look at this. And we can say, we're looking at train cars to load. So I think we also, no, we are iterating through them here. So, okay, we want to be iterating through them anyway. So if at any point in here, this, no, we don't have that, do we? Can I do dot any? Yeah, I can. Okay, so if we say we don't see any, this is an intersection. Right, so if we don't see any, it's still complaining about something here. What is that? Cannot be applied to cargo type. Lets me do that though. Oh, wait a minute. I see. I think I've selected a little bit too much here. Train car should be what we need. And this should return a Boolean. Yep, okay. That's looking better. So if there are not any cargo types left between the intersection of the cargo types from the chosen cargo group and the cargo types that this particular train car can carry, then we want to do something. What do we want to do? We really want to break. Well, we want to continue this is what we want to do. Jobs to generate, add. So if we just don't add it, it won't be part. Yeah, so that's fine. But we're in this inner loop. Does it work to do like, let's see, C#, continue outer loop. First, extract the inner loop to a method. Second, can all the loops be eliminated if you're looping because you're trying to search for something and you factor it into a query? Well, I suppose, let's see, cargo groups to use. If the count is greater than 0, what is this? I'm having to remember my own code. Then cargo groups to use intersect. Oh, interesting. So we already have a list of train cars. Train cars to load. Train cars to add. If train cars to load count equals 0. If we haven't fulfilled the licensed cargo group count is greater than 0, train cars is less than the max cars licensed. We set it to true, otherwise train cars to load. So train cars to load is like a running tally of the ones we've added so far. So if we are fulfilling license requirements and the licensed cargo group count is 0, or cargo groups to use, which is the ones that we've already, right, because we have train cars to load, cargo groups to use. So we intersect that with the licensed groups. Where does licensed groups, okay. Oh, interesting, okay. Cargo groups to use, that's inside. Yeah, honestly, I don't actually need this. I think this is overkill here. To copy this. Okay. Okay, well, my headset battery has given out on me here, and I'm certainly getting deep into this logic, which seems to have some faults to it.
So I think we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream here. Thank you for joining me today and sticking with me through testing this out, and certainly it seems that there's a little bit more to be done before we call this good to go. But yeah, certainly I think it's a lot closer than it has been, and I think that build number 82 isn't really disrupting what we're seeing here very much. So promising all around to see this today, and I'll just have to fix up this last bit of logic here. So thank you so much for joining me. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, of course, you can subscribe, and if you want to stay on top of the latest videos and streams that I do, there is that bell button there as well. But thank you all so much for joining me, and I will catch you next time.